Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening once again. You are welcome to another episode of Winning from the Mind. Yeah, so sorry we are a bit late. So there is a little technical issue that we just had to fix so that we have an uninterrupted session tonight. And I'm sure that as you can see, our guest, Mr. Samuel Akombi, is ready for us. Mr. Samuel, good evening. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
This
And
your look tonight
yeah,
is kind of suspicious. It's like you are ready for tonight because the talk for tonight is awesome, and I'm sure that you are ready to give it to us as it is hot.
yes,
How's
oh,
it going
yes.
on over there?
Not bad. Everything
Wow,
is going well. Hmm.
wow. So far so good on the series. Uh Apologies, I can't share my video right now. I'm not at my base, so I traveled, so just can't come on video now. Maybe later I can show my face, but let's have it now. Since Mr. Sheyi face is showing, and he's the man of the show tonight. So, so, Mr. Sheyi, this
Yes, sir.
particular series, I've been getting a lot of responses, and people have been coming to my DM, asking questions, talking about the series so far, how impactful it has been. And just like I said at the introductory episode, that this series it will be a long one, and aside being a long one, it's going to be the series that will mark the very beginning of success stories for many people. And if you check
Yes.
it, the topic we have for each episode is very unique. From the
Hmm.
first episode, we had Mr. Sheyi. Second episode, we had Mr. Favor. And tonight again, we have Mr. Sheyi. Why are we doing this? Is to show the people that the mind dynamics, if we can understand that, we can use the mind to achieve our long expected dreams to come to pass, our long awaited realities. And just before we enter into the session proper tonight, I want us to know that there is no barricade anywhere. Come as self-limiting beliefs, self-limiting thoughts, self-imposing limitations, and all. This barricade, they are the one that put it there, is a mental problem, is a mental roadblock, is a mental challenge. And that is what this series is aimed at uncovering, so that everyone can see that the limitation that you think you have is because your mind is not well trained, it's not well educated, your mind is not sophisticated enough to dismantle these little challenges and gather them together and make them into a stepping stone. Just before now, in let's say about 3 centuries ago, 4 centuries ago, when people see igneous rocks, they see mountains, they see roadblocks. But as I'm talking to you in the 21st century, they see assets. So far, there is no water logged underneath it. It's a quarry. Mr. Sheyi, are you feeling what I'm saying?
Yes,
Because
sir.
the, the people of that generation, AD 1000, AD 1500, were not sophisticated enough to convert seemingly mountain to wealth. But now, you will be glad if you have, let's say, a 1,000 acre expanse of land that is rocky. That is already a wealth. Before, large river like River Nile, River Niger, prevented people from the upper north from crossing over. It was a challenge. But a generation came that was sophisticated enough to control bridges. Aside that, they could dam the water to generate electricity. So the limitation that we think we are having at this age is the limitation that our mind has not caught up with. Hence, I can say there is no limitation anywhere. It's just a limitation that our mind is not sophisticated enough to tackle. So tonight, as we have our man with us in the room again tonight, we'll be talking at this episode on something that is very, very important, something that is very, very transformative, something that is very, very crucial to your next level. We are here for you tonight, for your next level. See, enough of trying and error, enough of accepting your fate. And let me clarify this. Most of the time, people think what they have is FAITH. They don't know that invariably they have resorted or they have submitted to FATE. About in 2022, during one of our physical sessions, then we were totally physical. Like we hold this session physically, people gather, it was awesome moment. But then we are like, no, we can't limit this. It's for the end of the Africa. So we were not biased. That time it looked like we are making progress. People gathered. No, we are happy that people gathered for that. But then now it must be like this. I was telling them something I coined and I called it creative miracles. I said when Jesus walked on water, it was a miracle. Jesus walked on water, it was a miracle. Wow. Peter said, bid me to come if truly you are the one. And he was coming. They said his face shook and began to sign. Jesus spread forth his hand. But now, there is water skin. People walk on water now. Mr. Sheya, am I? No, you stay in the UK. Maybe I'm not right. Am I correct, sir?
Absolutely.
They are in jetpack now. They are in jetpack. I believe I can find was something I will call, let's say, the guy was prophesying the future. Jesus walked on water was a miracle. But Archimedes came and said, object can float, no matter how heavy they are. Now, the same ocean that can sink a singular person can now carry cargo of containers from China to the rest of the world. That's the creative miracle. That's the creative miracle. Because the mind became sophisticated enough to catch up with realities unseen. Are you with me tonight? So, tonight, why are we having this series? And why are we having this topic? Tonight's topic is very unique. And one thing I trust our guests on this platform is that they do their homework. Aside personal experience, they are researchers. Tonight, we will be talking about reprogramming the mind for high-level success. In the Oh, I'm back. Sorry about that. Now, in the piece I sent out, I said success in its true essence, can be relative in nature. Success, when people set a goal and they meet it, is a success. Success is relative. For someone having PhD is success. From someone um, Getting our house on the island here in Nigeria is a success. There's a success that is just general. There's a level of success that is just general. But a high level success required a specific mindset to achieve. When when space travel began, it was a success. Wow, everybody can now go to space, although it requires a lot of funding. When they use the rocket is self-destructing, so can't be reused. It can't go back and come back. Oh, that was a success. And people have been having remarkable experience in the space. But a man came and said, this rocket can be reusable. We can launch and the launcher can return. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. We have about 7 billion people on Earth, now 8 plus, but one person can come with a sophisticated mind or mindset to say that this thing, the uncharted path is possible. And here we go. So tonight, we want to reprogram your mind for high level success. We want to let you know that the same mindset you have will get you a general success. But when we want to talk about the level of success that is high level, the level of success that is beyond the reach of a common human, the level of success that is beyond limitations of of human capabilities, the kind that require the blend of spirituality with our core human nature, our physicality, then you must pay attention to tonight's episode of this series. Stay the mind dynamics. As I pass on the microphone to Mr. Christine, I want to tell you that to reprogram your mind for high level success, it is not beans and it is not something that is not achievable. And it is difficult, but it is not something that is undoable. Please sit back, get your notes, click the share button, invite your friends, invite your neighbor, post on your status, and let's have the ride. Mr. Kevin, I believe I've been able to do a wonderful intro of the episode tonight, of the session tonight. Alpha,
Yes, sir. You did a good job. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was a very, very, very good one. And maybe I don't need this. Let me try and unplug. All right. So, thank you very much for the introduction. And I've always maintained the position that for every minute we spend on this platform, um, we can assure you in Minecraft Africa to deliver value. It will not be just one of those regular meetings. Do you understand? So I give you my word. And sometimes what we share, uh, they are not something new in itself. It's not like some of everything we share is entirely new. But we understand you, we understand each other. You understand? So we strongly believe that we can help you understand it better or provide a fresh perspective because success is a very common word. Success is a very, very common word. There is no quarter. Every day the word is being used here, is being, you understand? So sometimes we can even miss the real definition of success. It is very possible. And tonight we'll be talking about high level success. So we are not just talking about maybe something small. We are talking about high level. You know, there is something they call a minor breakthrough, and there's something they call a major breakthrough. A major breakthrough can be something like smartphones that we have now, Android smartphones, or generally smartphones. The fact that you can call someone here in in anywhere in the world and they pick elsewhere. So the minor breakthroughs are now the software upgrade. I mean, there was a time that there was no video call, and I remember then in 2010, when the economists, they were projecting that, see, it will come to a time where you will call people from your watch. It wasn't even smartphone then; it was from your watch that you can see. You know that Ben 10, they used Ben 10, that Ben 10 cartoon. You would see where everybody was on the watch, on the smartwatch. So there was that era. There was that postulation that in the coming years, it's going to be a possibility. So that's more like a minor breakthrough. So tonight I'm talking about high level success, and I'm talking about programming. And you know what? I try as much as possible to break it down so that we can understand the nitty gritty of the discussion tonight. But before I proceed, I need a verbal feedback. I need someone to give me feedback if I'm audible enough. If you can all hear me, please can someone give me that feedback? Can someone hear me, please? I need someone to give me verbal feedback.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. So, I just want to be sure before I start to proceed. So, can you help me with my slide? Please, can you help me with my slide? Can you help me with my slide, though? I don't know. I've been trying to. I can't see upload. Can't see upload. I've been trying to. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Um, Let me open. Can you help me with my slide? Oh, good, good. Thank you, thank you. I was about to I was about to share my screen, so thank you very much. So programming yourself or your mind actually. So actually I went beyond your mind. You understand? So I will be talking more about programming yourself for high level success. Programming yourself for high level success. And they will include programming your mind for high level success. And of course, so what exactly is success? My brother shared that success can be small, it can be big. It doesn't make it less of a success. Success is the achievement of goals and aspirations. So goals are maybe things you've written down. Today you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to. Aspirations are things you also look forward to. Maybe getting a job, all of those things. Some of those things are the achievement of this set of things is called success. It can be personal. There is what they call personal success. There is professional success, and there is a combination of both personal and professional success. You can divide personal into, different stratas. You talk about your health. They call it fitness goals. You call it talk about your spirituality. There is, is dynamic. You can group all of those into personal success, and professional success has to do with external, career wise, your job, your career, entrepreneurship, all of those things, your business. So, and success is subjective, and it varies from person to person. Subjective in the sense that sometimes we cannot really say that some people are not successful. I read a book some about 7 years ago by L. Nightingale, Stranger Secret. I've shared some of the snippets on this platform. And he said that success is the realization of a written goal. Success is the realization of any goal that is worthy of conception. I mean, you can't successfully drink water. Do you understand? So that is not a worthy aspiration to conceive, because that's quite easy. You can just grab a cup and put water, and so. But something big, something that attach meaning, something that brings meaning to your life, or to the life of others, or to the existence of others. So that is exactly what we're talking about when we say success, 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 even though it is subjective. So that's one thing, that's success. So programming your mind for success. So when we say programming, see, forget about what I wrote here. Developing a positive and growth oriented mindset, cultivating habits. Programming means writing codes. Do you understand? When they say you are a programmer, it means you write codes. So programming means an action, a continuous action where you are writing codes. In this case, where you are implementing success codes. So programming your mind for success actually means implementing success codes, implementing the codes that can mentally transform you. And if you can be transformed mentally, your life is already transformed, because everything flows from the mind. So programming is like the how to. So I said here that a set of codes, kwa, 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 creates a program. A program is a set of codes that has been predetermined to run in a set of way, given a set of syntax or query, whatever you call it. So when you say you program something, you program a coffee machine to deliver a kind of coffee when you press a button. Or there are some coffee machine that they deliver a kind of coffee, or they deliver at different temperature depending on the weather. They have a computer that reads the weather, whether it's snowing, then your coffee becomes extremely hot, very hot. When it is maybe warm during the summertime, it's a little bit also warmer. So that's programming. It means that we've written codes. So this set of codes, whatever I'm going to share tonight, is actually a lot. There are about 20 of them. So I'm going to run through them. And these are some of the things that we've shared on this platform. And you know what? That is why when you come here, you learn, because learning involves interfacing with the same information again and again, again and again. That is the building block of learning. That is how you build foundation. So The mindset shift for success that you need is to write these codes in your mind, and by doing so, you are automatically programming yourself for success. See, there are set of actually, I used to say this, that have you seen some certain people in your society, maybe your friends, and by looking at them and what they do, you know that this one, he will make it no matter what. This one, he will make it, he will be successful. You just have this gut feeling, this intuition that you see this person, this one is going to succeed. The same thing, you will see some people in your society, in your vicinity, and you'll be like, this one, I'm not sure. Even if he makes it, we need to investigate. It tells you that we can deconstruct success. We can break it down to understand how to get there. We can, and that is one thing with programming. You can divide the program by a set of codes. You can even obstruct it by a set of codes. So this set of codes I'm about to share are things that, as you continue to take cognizance and you implement, you are automatically programming yourself for success. Once you start this begins. You have triggered an action. Once you are hardworking, automatically you have triggered favor, because people tend to favor those with reputation of diligence and hard work. The Holy Book said, see a man diligent in his work, he will not stand among mean men, he will stand before kings. That is because as long as you are diligent, there is absolutely nothing on earth, in heaven, under heaven, that can stop you. So that is why we say codes is not one, is not two, is a combination. This set of codes, they create a program, and that program lands you in success. Let me just go into it. The first one is embrace failure. Embracing failure. See, I have shared this year that your first product is not going to be your best. Your first company is not going to be your best. That is why there is improved version. And some of these companies we look now, look at Apple, where they began. They started the iPhone in, I think, 2007. This is going to be like 18 years of the iPhone. The first iPhone, is it the best iPhone? Absolutely not. Do you understand? The same thing, the first business you do may not be the best. Toyota started as a sewing machine company. They didn't start making cars. They started from home appliances. They started from making things, blender, all of those things. And before you know it, they went into automobile parts. So understand that setback is part of the journey to success. That's the first thing you need to take note of. So these are things that you need to settle in your mind. When you fail, you have just begun. In fact, in investment, we say that when you lose money, you have paid school fees. There's nobody you see up there that has never lost money or that has never made mistakes. That's the first important thing to note. The second one is set clear goals. We began the year by talking about goals here. So I'm just going to tell you, focus on short-term and long-term objectives. If you want to program yourself for success, at least you must have goals, and the goals must be clear. It must be clear. So your goal is not something that you cannot communicate. You see, I find it funny when you ask people that, okay, so what's your goal? Except you don't want to talk, but if you decide that you want to share your goals, you must be able to communicate. There's no ambiguity, there's no so I know in my mind, èmi nìkan ló yé kind of thing. No, that doesn't happen with goals. Goals are clear. This is where we are going. This is where I'm going by the end of this year. By June, I must have achieved this. I must have had this. It must be clear. And when I say clear, the person you are communicating it to must be able to journey with you that, okay, it makes sense. It makes all type of sense. It makes logical sense. It makes analytical sense. It makes creative sense. So that is one thing about setting clear goals, goals that you can communicate, goals that, after you have shared it, people can see how they can even support you in achieving it, because they can personalize it. They have understood the goals because it is clear, to the extent that they can now they can see themselves in your goals. And don't focus only on long term. It's an error. There has to be a balance, short term and long term. There has to be everyday goals. You read for 2 hours. When I was in the university, I read every day for minimum of 1 hour. I'm not saying I read my lecture notes. No, sometimes I read other things, but I read every day. It became an habit to the extent that it was difficult for me to go to my family house in the town for holidays, because it looked like I'm entering a new environment. So when am I going to read? Will I have the time? Those are some of my concerns, because reading had become an habit that I could not do away with. At least 1 hour. It could be newspaper, it could be anything, it could be journal, it could be self-development books, it could be, but that was the goal that time, that, you know what? Read 1 hour every day, so that when a lecturer comes in and they want to misbehave, the way some of our lecturers misbehave, they want to misbehave, and we were politically inclined. Sometimes when they see that you are not in the class, they decide that that's the day they want to start their test. Guys have been there, so when they see that, oh, it looks like you are there's someone that is not yet in class, the person will come late, they say, oh yeah, take a sheet of paper. I am never caught unguarded, because what? I read every day, 1 hour. Even where the lecturer has not gone to, sometimes I will have an idea of, okay, so this is where these are some of the things we're going to touch. So focus on short-term and long-term goals or objectives. The third one is stay positive. See, when you stay positive, that is the only time you can react gracefully. So now the power with staying positive is that even when everything is going wrong, you will be able to do the right things. That's one thing with staying positive. Because staying positive means you have the right attitude, even though the circumstances are against you. And you know what? When you have the right attitude, you can come out of whatever it is faster and quicker. I shared with you different kinds of responses people give to trials, tribulation, challenging situation. They can either be reactive, reactive in the sense that there was a dollar crisis, everybody skyrocketed their price, dollar came down. That inconsistency, some business did not, because what? They were proactive. See, you need to be listening to NESG, the Nigerian Economy Summit Group. You need to be listening to programs, events, budget breakdown, the impact of the budget, the inflation figures, the impact on consumer goods. You need to understand your economy, we call it economic atmosphere, so that whatever it is you are doing in your business, you will get at least pricing. Some things, that can help you retain your customers, you can get it right. You see this a wave of uncertainty, and your business model has changed. Sometimes it's good, because I'm a supply chain professional and I teach supply chain agility, resilience. In fact, it's resilience, supply chain resilience. ability to try and come back irrespective of supply chain interruptions. I strongly believe in that. But what is even more, what is in fact in recommendations from over thousands of papers, is that you have to build a contingency plan. That's the first thing. Whether in your modal system, if you are the type that you import by the sea, you need to also be thinking of how you can import your cargo by air. Should there be any problem with country waters, maybe there is a security breach in our oceans, you should be, that's what they call contingency. You need to have, so that is proactiveness. Or whether you need to, they call something buffer stock, where you buy more, with the hope that there's a time where there will be shortage in the market, and you plug in. You can only do this if you are positive, staying positive even in challenging situations. It helps you think right. You'll be able to judge perspectives. Take responsibility, guys. Own your actions and decisions. Avoid blaming others for your circumstances. George Bernard Shaw said something, I can't remember verbatim, but he said that the reason why some people are failures in life is because they believe that the circumstances shape them. He said those who are successful, they go out to create their circumstances. They go out every day to create their circumstances. If you are doing a low level job, you don't like the job you are doing, you can create your circumstances. Get education, add another skill, divide, contribute. We've shared on this platform that the cost of ambition is time. It could be in the night. You could decide that every 1 hour of your day, you will start learning a digital skill. Start from the dummy level, then to beginner, intermediate, advanced. Have something to offer. People pay for value. In fact, the bedrock of pricing is that people will give you an amount that they perceive is equal to the value your product is offering them. So if you want to earn more, look for high quality, earning skills. At least we are in the digital era. There is coding, there is cyber security, information security. There is we've shared some of these things, over 40 of them. Robotics engineering, machine learning, software engineering, DevOps. We've talked about even product design, UI, UX, animation. We've talked about creative designing, which is an advanced form of graphics design. We've talked about things that you can learn in the space of 6 months, and before the end of the year, you can say that okay, you can now apply for a job that can earn you a living wage. But you see this wallowing in self-pity that okay, you only have an end, like nothing can happen. No, 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 no. People go out there to create their circumstances. Own your actions and decisions. Be persistent. See, when you say be persistent, it means that continue to do it. That's what we talked about earlier. Show up every day. Continuous learning. Even when you are there, recognize that you are not there. The wisest people, they understand the limitations of what they know now and the importance of getting more knowledge to fill their ignorance gap. In other words, if you come to a point where you believe that you know so much, you start dying, you start expiring in the same industry. That's one thing with some people who have spent 30, 35 years in the industry, and you see that they can't, there's no creativity. That's because they have stopped learning. So stay curious, be open to new knowledge. If you run a retail business, be open to, because now we now have another generation. There's generation alpha. Is it they call alpha now? The people who are just going to be turning 18. There is a way they think. So you need to learn how to sell to them as a business. It was Gen Z. You need to know how to sell to them. So there was a time, there was a way you can sell, your product can appeal to baby boomers, to Gen X, then the millennial. So this has to do with staying curious. You see some CEOs, bank CEOs now, see the way they are dressing, they are wearing jeans. It's because they are looking for young investors. They don't want you to take your money to fintechs or venture capitalists. They want your money. So some of them are 55, 56, 57. You see them in jeans. They are taking Instagram pictures in yacht or yacht as has been pronounced. They are creating that branding. There is a subtle branding to tell you that what, we also understand you. We understand what's in vogue. We can relate with you. We can do business with you. That's what they are saying. Continuous learning, adaptability. So if your strategy is not working, change it. Guys, change it. Be flexible, be open to change, adjust your strategies. Where you are going can be the same, but there is no one way. There are a lot of ways. But what you must make sure is that you are going to the right direction. At least you should know where you are going. So be adaptable. This, it must be this way. It must be that. No. Sometimes it doesn't work. I've even listened to enough successful people that somehow, when you ask them how they got there, it was the thing they least expected will give them visibility and voice and influence that got them. Some of them might think, oh, because maybe they were former CEOs, it could just be social media. Maybe they came on social media and they started, doing something very things that they thought, okay, maybe let me just contribute, and boom, before you know it, the compound effect. So be adaptable to change. Focus on solutions. Shift your focus from the problem to solutions. Develop a problem solving mindset. The last time I was here, I shared with you a mental map to solve problem, and I said one of the things that as a problem solver you must know is that sometimes what you think is the problem is not the problem. That thing is a hack. People don't know. It's something that people overlook. They overlook it a lot. There is, when people want to solve problem, they always have the assumption that they understand the problem. No, sometimes you don't. You don't even know where the problem is coming from. So you need to first grace the humility, internalize the humility, and the fact that the first step is to uncover the problems. And when you uncover problems, you now need to be asking questions, investigating. Why is this so? Why is that so? Then you begin to have clues. So when there are problems in your business, in your academic, whatever it is that you are facing currently, ask questions. That's how to solve problem. So why am I experiencing this? Why is this happening to me? That's the way your brain should be working. And when you are able to ask some of these questions, you'll be able to get help. You'll be finding solutions to the problem. Surround yourself with positive people. We talked about networking. If you have 5 friends who are rich, you are the sixth rich person in that group. Like-minded people. And this is like, it's like a cheat people don't use. I remember in my primary school days, I think I started doing well academically in primary four, primary five, because I don't, those were somehow childhood days, but I knew that that time my parents would always pray for me. This orthodox prayer that God open this our child's brain. because I was not just serious with academics. I was not serious with class. I was an artist, so when you buy me a book, I would draw on the pages of the book. Anything that fine art, oh, I love fine art. Anything that about drawing, calligraphy, that was where you will find me. I love things like that. Until I go to the primary five then. And you know what? You know, from primary five, people go to secondary school, like GSS1. Some schools don't even have primary six. My school then had primary six. And so I think primary five finished. Then some of my friends went to secondary school. We did common entrance then. And some that did not meet up the cutoff, they went to other schools. They didn't want primary six. So my parents said, you know what, I didn't even do so well, even though I passed. You know, having like 55, 50 something over 100. They felt like maybe I might not cope in JSS1. They now said, let me, or maybe I don't know the full reasons, but that was what I had. They said, okay, you know what, let him do the primary six. So when I went into primary six, I had new friends, and the new friends I had were very intelligent. In fact, I was intimidated to success because every now and then we used to have night prep. My night prep is to disturb people. It used to be just to be fool around. When I was young, I was very playful, bold, outspoken. You understand? Everybody knew me, but they never knew me as someone who was serious. So my night prep then was, but when I had these new friends, and I said that, you know what, these people that were supposed to encourage me and let us disturb everybody together and let them put our name in noisemaker, we will resume school the following morning, chop our cane, and we do what? We move. They were reading, they were studying, they were serious about it. They were reading, oh, so I had to now comport myself. So I started reading. Then when I started reading, we had a test one time. I can't remember. Success can encourage, is encouraging. Let me tell you, when you achieve, that is why the rich, those ones that worked for it, oh, I'm not talking about your politicians, the rich will always get rich because there is an encouragement, there is a fulfillment that comes with, having it. And before you know, it becomes a game. You want to have more, you want to have more, you want to have more. It becomes a game that sometimes some people even get lost in it. So I remember we had a test that time and I did well. Surprisingly, I was surprised I did well because they came to, the results. They were announcing the results. They will start from the list. Those who first of all, those who failed, they flogged some of them. We were in the era of flogging. So they flogged some of them then. I saw that I was not flogged. Okay. Then they started calling 6/10. Do well. Those will comment. 7/10. I can't remember. I think it was over 20. I got 17.5. Yes. I was the second in the class. That day I was celebrated. That was my primary six. In fact, do you know what? And you know that it was like a rush of energy, adrenaline. And before you know it, I started, catching up to the extent that I was representing my school in debate from primary six. And that became the trajectory of my life. Everywhere I've been to, I have been known for, I take my books, I take academics seriously. But that was the reawakening. And that was not because of anything supernatural, anything extraordinary. It was just friends. I had friends who were serious with books. And because nobody was ready to fool around with me, I had to also start reading. In fact, it became sometimes we even argue about what we read. So, and when you want to argue, you read 10 times. You know you want to argue. You are going to read that information 10 times. You will even go and browse, go and do extra research. Guys, I learned a lot through argumentative representation because, of course, I was a debater too. You understand? So I that was the thing, but it was because of the company I kept. Visualize success. Some people don't have an idea of, they've never seen themselves. See, the they've never imagined themselves being successful. That's the truth. So when I say visualize success, I'm saying that there are people currently now on the scene that you feel like this is the kind of success you also want to have. Those are even people you can take as mentors, but you need to visualize success. You need to be able to create a mental picture of you being successful. Take action. I know when we say take action, we are talking about try again, try once more, try it again tomorrow. Just keep trying until you succeed. That's take action. Move from planning to execution. Take deliberate and consistent steps. So that's the action. Take action, guys. The important thing is to start. We are not saying that you should start great. Start small. Even if you can't start small, start from a point. You start from somewhere. The most important thing is to start, not necessarily how you start, because all conditions cannot be in your favor when you start. You will not be the biggest. In fact, you are still an underdog in the market. The market is still trying to, you know, recognize you. Then when they begin to recognize you, they create a space for you. When they create a space for you, then you understand, you start muzzling it in the market. So it's a step, but it has to do with starting and trying. Manage your time effectively. Prioritize tasks. Practice self-discipline. This is key. This is very, very important. Stay on your goals. Develop self-control and discipline. So when you discover that it looks like it's been like 2 3 days you've not read, you've not gone to the gym, you've not done that course, you've not spoken to, you've not built that relationship, you've not socialized, you've not done things that you have decided initially you were going to do. This is March is already going. I remember today, I remember January, our first session, like today. It felt like yesterday. This is March, guys. And I remember I told you that by June, from some of the things we shared that day, and I remember telling you instructively to start. Start anyway, start anyhow, start, just begin. And when you begin, practice self-discipline. When you discover that you are drifting away, go back on track. Seek feedback. Seek feedback. Welcome constructive feedback. That's how to grow. Some of us have built an atmosphere around us where people cannot criticize us. You will expire. If people cannot tell you that you are wrong and they can't tell you comfortably, there is a problem. You have a personality disorder. You have a personality that people cannot relate with, and it's going to lead to a failure. Because you know what? How do you grow? How do you improve? You can't know it all. People can be your mirror. Everybody needs feedback. That is why companies now they create membership apps. Apple, Samsung, even beverage companies, they create membership apps. They create platforms where their customers can interact. They want to be seen. Oh, the camera of this phone is not good. Why does Samsung remove a feature? Why is there no this? Why is there no that? Why things like that. So feedback helps us grow. Stay motivated. Find your source of inspiration and motivation, whether in books, whether in music. Stay motivated. Keep your passion and enthusiasm alive. That's what I will share there. And I'll be rounding up by saying, by sharing some few words. Believe in yourself. Don't talk yourself down. Don't be the reason why you will not succeed. There's a popular quote that if you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. Because I mean, who should argue with you when you say you can't? If you say you can't, then you can't. We will agree that you can't. We can't argue that with you. So trust in your abilities and potential. Know your limitations, and your limitation that exposes you to, avenues for improvement. Take care of your health. See, everything stands on your health. The day you break down meant physically, you you lose productivity. And when I was still practicing clinical pharmacy, so um there was a research I saw, the cost of productivity in Lagos State. When people are sick, the money the state is losing because someone is sick is a lot. It was about 12.8 billion naira per month. From talking about when your employees are absent due to sick leave, the general cost of sick leave, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks. We are not even talking about maternity cost, because that is, you are not being sick. But when you talk about being sick, being strained, physically strained, some people cannot open their shop. The entire cost to a state, to the economy of a state, is 12.5 billion naira. So it tells you that productivity drops to zero when your physical health, your mental health is not there. So because everything rests on it. It's always someone who is active that can go out every day, to face challenges of life. Be very grateful. Whatever new success you have achieved, be very, very grateful, because what this does is that it does not, you will not be depressed. Many people are, seemingly getting it and they are depressed because they are not grateful. So be very, very grateful. Practice gratitude. Understand that you are just, in the beginning of your years, and a lot can happen in 3 5 years. Warren Buffett built extra 38% of his wealth in his 50s, when he was in his mid 50s. In fact, in the space of about 5 years, he moved from, I can't remember the figures now, but he moved from being maybe the 40 something to first to 10 richest people in the world in the space of 5 years. He moved from, not even first 20 richest in the world. So a lot can still happen in your life. There is the theory of compound interest. Compound interest means the effort you have been giving over every day, then there is a day where the harvest comes, and boom, it will be like an overnight success. Practice gratitude, celebrate small wins, stay focused, stay on your goals, and thank you very much for paying attention. This has been a very good use of, I think I spent 59 minutes. And if you have any questions, I have extra 5 minutes to be here with you. Kindly share, and let's see. I'll be here to answer them. Thank you very much for listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Mr. Sheyi, can you hear me?
Absolutely, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. I can
Guys,
hear
can
you,
you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Mr. Sheyi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
Oh, what's going on? I can't hear myself. Hold on. What's going on? My audio. Can anyone hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Mr. Sheyi.
Yes, we
Oh,
can.
great, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I
Mm.
mean, that was a fantastic session. That was a fantastic session. Thank you so much. And I believe that one thing I appreciate about you. Sheyi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that you are a born teacher. Oh. You are a born teacher. I mean, you are very systematic. I mean, in your delivery, and that's good. That is systemic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And please, we want about 2 to 3 people to ask questions. Please ask questions. You can't have such a delivery as this and not ask questions. Because if you run through the slides, you will realize that there are things that are particular to you. Please ask questions. Whenever we speak like this, whenever we have a session like this, the speaker cannot say everything finished. But your question help us to give you adaptive teaching as well. Your question can help us expand further our scope, our discussion. Please ask questions. I just 1 or 2 people. I can see Oluwaseyi Victoria. I can see Prosper. I can see Joy Salami. I can see Adeawo. I can see a couple of others. Godwin, please ask questions. You can type your question. We will see it. We will address it. Ask question. Anybody willing to ask question? Reprogramming the mind for high level success. Hey, please help us to run through the slide again from beginning.
All right. So today I shared quite some important things.
Yes.
Of some of the things that some of us have also had over the years. So this is like a synthesis, a compilation of them, of this. So I said when you say programming, programming is like code. It's like a sort of code, a set of codes. It leads to a program. Then when you are writing those codes, it's called programming. And there is something I call success codes. So, and those were some of the things I shared. And I said that if you put into practice, if you are coding, you are writing these things. For example, now, if you continue to embrace failure as a learning opportunity, because failure is not one time event. Sometimes you can be failing every day. But you know what? You have to resume. Sometimes you can be failing every year. It's just that you can be failing at different things. And one thing is, you must be a fool to fail twice at one thing. So embracing failure, like, well, okay, we move on. That's a code. Once you begin to, because see, the road does not end the same way the journey does not end. Sometimes when you think the journey has ended, God gives you another assignment. So embracing failure, setting clear goals, both short and long term. Some people just set long term goals. And one thing with long term goals, if you don't have short term goals, you will not achieve long term goals. Then, if you don't have long term goals, you will not be able to even appreciate how far you have come. It will be like being too hard on yourself. It can lead to mental burnout, it can lead to depression, it can lead to unhappiness, it can lead to quite a lot of things because you are just very hardworking. You don't know when all of this will end. There is no goal in mind. There's no sight that something will end in mind, in sight rather. There's no in mind actually. So setting clear goals, staying positive. And I shared that the important thing about staying positive is that when you are positive, you are able to make the right decisions even when you are in challenges. You are able to think right. Because imagine a situation where maybe God forbid there's a structural problem with your business, or someone just stole from you, or all of those things, and you're able to sit down and analyze that, okay, so how did someone steal up to this amount and I didn't suspect? You can't think about this if all you are thinking about is, I must jail him, I must arrest him. Yes, that can happen. But staying positive means, okay, you are already thinking about how this will not occur again. Taking responsibility, we shared that. We talked about being persistent. You need to be going and going again. And this reminds me of the parable of the um is it the widow now in the gate? I can't remember. There is a parable in this in that Jesus shared, that there was a widow at the gate of a rich man, and the widow never left. The widow kept coming, kept coming, kept coming every day, or maybe she just sat there. You understand? And because of the persistence, the judge was not comfortable with someone just being comfortable at his door.
See, as we continue, there's a question here.
Okay.
Yeah, someone is asking a question. Let me pin it. Yeah, someone.
Oh yeah, I can see the question. So this is how can I okay. Okay, so this is saying that my question is, from what we learned today, is it safe to say anyone at all, irrespective of age, has no excuse to succeed? Definitely, that's what we are saying. We are saying that if anyone can apply these codes, see, let me tell you something about coding is that you can code from anywhere. You can code from Ikorodu. You can build a program, build an app that will go global from anywhere in the world. Because what is not location dependent. Hard work is a principle. Some of these things we've shared now are principles that when you apply, when you begin to implement them in your life, you will succeed. Now, what success now means may differ. Let me tell you, for some people, I've met people that I asked them that what do they want to become in life? They said, someone said she just wants to have a shop, a fashion designing shop, maybe employ 3 or 4 people. I mean, what can you do? I had to tell the person, you know what, that's small. Why don't you even think of owning a garment factory? We have Rough and Tumble, we have Gatimo, which is owned by Rough and Tumble. Why don't you think of even this Adire exporting it? Or, I had to start taking her through that journey, that mental journey of thinking big. But some people are not thinking big. And you can only achieve to the level of how far you can think. Remember, uh, Abraham, what can you see? So sometimes it's how far you can see. So it has nothing to do with age. Has nothing. In fact, when you are young, let me tell you, you are at an advantage because what you can make mistakes, you can recover faster, you can learn, you can retrace your steps faster. In fact, when people, for example, do things faster, maybe start businesses faster, get married faster, start having children. I'm not saying faster in terms of being prematurely, involved in some of these things. No, but just at the right time, by environmental, economic indices. If you are getting married at as a female at let's say 25, that's like a very good age. The unlike 18, the 18 at some point it was a good age, but that's what I'm saying. So irrespective of the age, you can learn, recover faster from your mistakes. In fact, you can try multiple business. Some people have done up to 15 businesses in their lives. That's because they started doing businesses fast at a very young age. So they know what is working, what is not working. They know which one can take them to their financial destination and which one will not. They know which one to focus on, which one to take as a side hustle. So it is safe to say nobody has any excuses. We are not saying that everybody should be like Elon Musk, but we are saying that whatever it is that represents success to you, it could be that you want to have a university and that is the height of it for you. We are saying that it is possible, whether you are from Idomila in Ijebu-Ode, or you are from Ajah in Lagos, or you are from Sabon Gari in Kano, or you are from Buda in Adamawa, anywhere you are in the country, anywhere, whether local or you are from New York, whatever, we are saying that applying these principles, it will get you there because these principles are like code. Once you are coding, you are coding every day, you will develop a program. So I hope I've answered your question. Yes, sir. I've answered the question. No. Is there any other question before I move? Time is of essence. Any more questions? Going, going, going. Eh,
Thank you so much, Sheyi. Thank you so much. I think the person has responded. The question is well answered, and
okay.
we can move from there. Thank you for your time. Thanks for everyone for joining tonight. Please, I implore you, go over this episode again.
Again.
Internalize it. Internalize it. Go over it again and again. See, let me tell you something. There is something repetition does to your mind. Your subconscious mind feeds on repeated actions and processes. If you can go over things again and again, your mind will begin to see it as something important. Repetition. So don't think you can understand a concept at first instance. No. Go over it again and again, process it, sleep over it, check it again and again. Then clarity will come, then ability to do it will come. Because when there is clarity, then you are empowered to take steps. Thank you so much for joining. This is the episode 3 of the Mind Dynamic series. And I can attest to the fact that your life is changing. Thank you so much. Till we meet in the next episode. We'll be having another guest in the next episode. And I can assure you that taking it further from here tonight is going to be a wonderful experience for your growth and personal development. So until then, keep making the rest of your life the best of your life. Thank you so much. We are happy to be a part of your journey to success. We are happy to be a part of your progressive experience. See next week, Friday. Keep making the rest of your life the best of your life. Good night. Thank you so much.